Hey, it's your favorite positivity guy. Again, this is a video that ain't planned. And I got a lot that is sitting with me, and I gotta say it out loud. So come on, sit out back with me. Let's get this thing started. Okay. This celebrity gossip. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but I don't know if it's been the moon, the sun, the weather, everything that happened I don't know. But one of the first ones that I saw, I think, was Clifton, which is a black actor, and they were sitting at a round table with other black actors and having a discussion, and the conversation definitely got heated. I also then saw, I think Tyra Banks has really, oh my gosh, she has been in the news. Oh my gosh, it has been, it's been a lot. Speaking about her documentary and how a lot of things are coming to the light. Some people are defending her. Some people are definitely tearing her down. Oh my goodness. And then there was one recently about Michael Jordan. That one shocked me. I was sitting at work and I had like a quick break. I had nothing to do at that exact moment because I had a meeting coming up. But I saw it and I was just like, oh my gosh, is he really touching this kid's butt? Like what is going on? And so of course, you trust but verify. And so I dug into it a little bit more, and the more I dug into it, the more my feed started to get flooded with comments about Michael Jordan and how the parents of that kid are irresponsible. And it really broke my heart. It really, really hurts. And I'm not here to jump on either side of the bandwagon for any of these celebrities. I also don't believe the blanket statement of these are celebrities and their lives are not private or they don't belong to them. Their lives, when they jump into the stardom, that they jump into the risk of their lives being public. I don't fully believe that. I do understand being a celebrity that has its risk. And even these particular situations, at the end of the day, I wasn't present for any of them. And I also know, not just in the world of AI, but in the world of social media in general, we can quickly take a clip and not even edit it, but assign meaning, assign a narrative to what we believe it means, as if we were there. And it just hurts. We live in a world where politicians are erasing our history. They're erasing our existence. But we have the time and the energy to assign narratives to things that doesn't even affect us. And it hurts so bad. It's so bad. I was talking to my husband about it, and I was trying to vent a little bit, but I also had to realize that it wasn't his energy to bear. It wasn't meant for me to send this energy to him. And so for this, I just have to get this off my chest. So please forgive me. I am not trying to trigger anyone. I am not trying to do a bashing video of any of the celebrities. I'm not trying to bash any of the comments, because I'm sure there's probably a little validity to each side of it. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know, because I wasn't there. But it hurts. It hurts so bad that we are so quick to assign what we think, what we feel, or what we believe. Even going back to the Michael Jordan thing, and the kid, and in my mind, I don't know if he was tickling his butt. I don't know what was going on. But then someone in the comments said that there was ice or something down the kid's back, and so of course, I'm driving to find out what that, like, why is there ice down this kid's back? What the hell? That's weird. But then I was like, oh, they're at a championship sporting event thing. That makes sense to me, because most likely, I didn't read it because I don't know, but I was like, most likely they won the game, and in sporting events, we know they'll drop the thing of Gatorade that probably has ice in it down, over your head or over your back, and the kid was probably partaking in that. And so they were saying that he was trying to get the ice and shake the ice out of the kid's back. And I was just like, oh, okay. For me, that makes logical sense. But again, I'm not gonna comment about it because I wasn't there. It doesn't affect me directly to post or put a narrative out there. And so I was like, okay, everyone has their opinion. But then they brought the parent in, and the parent is on the news. And the parent is just like, this is what happened. I think that video was taken out of context, and instead of those comments not even being there, they decided to assign, the people in the comments decided to assign a new narrative. Oh, the parent got bought off. Oh, they bought your ass too. Can't believe that, baby. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Again, we're commenting on things that has nothing to do with us. Nothing. We assigned an entire narrative. An entire narrative. It really hurts to see that that's where we are. It just really hurts. And even the Tyra piece. I used to be a model years ago. Oh my gosh. Years ago. And ironically enough, I went to John Casablanca, which is a modeling agency that she, I think, went to as well back in her day. Ironically. But I would agree that a lot of the things that she put the models through were far-fetched. They were excessive, uncalled for. And I was just like, I never experienced any of that. Now, mind you, I was also never the top of the game like that. So I was just like, maybe I just never knew. But I was just like, oh, okay, like, that's weird. Like, I don't know anyone that's gone through this. And again, this is me watching this real time. I was never a huge fan of the show, but I would catch certain clips of it because it was quote unquote reality TV, and it was a thing of the times. And this documentary, I don't understand what it was trying to prove. I don't get it. But on one hand, I understand Tyra in the comments of that was a period of time where these things were okay and acceptable. I understand Sherry Shepherd, she mentioned on her show, she did a slight rant and it was very emotional. If you haven't seen it, definitely go back and watch it because I do believe it. But she brought up some good points that I didn't even think about with Tyra, that she was putting people on her show that back then would not have gotten a chance. They were not deemed as pretty, so they were not deemed as socially acceptable within that space. And so you make decisions hoping that you're making the right decisions, Um, and I get that, and because I see Oprah doing the same thing earlier in the career, where these people were pioneers, right? Fighting battles that you and I never will have to see. And so I get it. I get it. I don't understand the rape allegations and her thoughts about that. Um, it did seem a little inconsiderate, but also the person that created, I have no idea the model's name, but the model that spoke about these allegations, why is this public? Why are we talking about this now? Typically when things like that happens, you sue them, you, I don't know, you settle for an undisclosed amount, he goes to jail, like something of that happens. And so I'm like, if that happened, then why are we talking about it now? Why are we demonizing Tyra if you went through the proper channels of suing the network or suing the guy that did the assault? Why are we talking about it now? I was like, okay. And then even on the flip side, no offense, but most of us, we were not worried about top model Tyra, and over half of the people that was on that cast. And now in 2026, we're talking about them. And so I don't understand how and why we're demonizing so much when there's a yin and yang. There's a side to both of it, and you can't have one without the other. And so I top my hat off to those that were involved with the Top Model Network. But I really wish we would not be so quick to assign narratives to situations if we were not there. And Tyra, you know you're wrong now in regards to this accountability piece. Now, come on now. I'm not saying I'm not saying be accountable for everything that happened, but you gave us the portrayal that you guys were friends and you were close-knit people. And even I get it. I understand because you outgrow coworkers very quickly. Very quickly. But if one of my coworkers that I was friends with for 15 years or 20, whatever that amount was, and I gave this portrayal, like, I'm at least check on you once a year. I'm gonna at least check on you. Or like, even if I don't check on you, when I found out that you had a stroke or you were extremely sick, I'm at least send you some flowers. Text you. Like, oh my God, like, girl, I heard about what happened, child. Girl, that almost took you up out of here. What, you okay? Like, I would do, come on out. So, the Tyra, that you do that. At least do that. Please do that. Please. Okay, moving on from Tyra. The last one is this Clifton thing. And this one hurt like a dagger. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen even a bit of the clips about that, Clifton, which is again the older actor, he made, I think, a few comments or statements about how, you know, being in 50s, a 60-year-old, living that life where you don't know what you don't know. And you depend on a good woman to kind of correct you or to tell you, hey, that thing that you're doing is wrong. And there was a younger guy there. I think he was a millennial. I think he was. I'm not sure. But the only reason why I'm saying that is for age or visibility. But the millennial at the table vilified that. And I probably wrong words, but realistically, that's kind of what it was. Because in his mind, you should not depend on a woman. You should not have a woman to hold space or hold that weight of having to correct you, of having to tell you that you're wrong or that you're doing something wrong or that it's time to straighten up. Like at a certain point, you're an adult, you're a grown ass man, and you have to take responsibility or accountability for your actions. You have to be able to grow up and kind of move forward. And I'm not here to say either one of them were right or wrong. I will gladly admit that I think there are great points to both sides of that story. Because on one hand, from Clifton's perspective, he comes from a generation, and I know we are also sick and tired of hearing this, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to trigger anybody. I almost triggered myself. But the reality is, he comes from a generation where his parents and his parents' parents, they often depended on elders. They depended on other people that were smarter, that were wiser, to course correct, or at the very least, highlight what they were doing wrong. And so it did not surprise me when he said that. And then the younger guy, it didn't surprise me when he said that either, because we come from the generation where our parents taught us that anything is possible. And we are the ones that are out here making it possible, which means that we got further along a heck of a lot faster. We also have a lot more information at our disposal. We have a lot more resources at our disposal. We are a lot faster to be able to tell a stranger or even see a stranger on TikTok and say that you're doing is wrong. Like, go back and you may want to correct that. And then again, we have the support to kind of help us correct that where it doesn't take us 50 years or 60 years. You can start your journey a lot sooner. Your journey of discovery, your journey, oh my gosh, that sounds like, what was it, 101, half and half. The theme song. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, but you can to kind of start this journey of discovery much sooner. And so, again, I'm not here to say that either one was right or wrong in their thinking about the other person. So I'm not saying that. But what hurt me, we had two strong black men sitting at a round table having a conversation, and they were each screaming at each other to be heard. They just wanted to be heard. And it hurt that I think somebody eventually came. I think a producer eventually came to the table. But there were so many other black men at that table while this conversation is going back and forth, and this yelling battle, the frustration, the anger is going back and forth. And nobody, at least not in the clips that I saw, nobody said, hey, let's take this down a beat, because the conversation that you all are having needs to be had, but it needs to be had in a healthy way, because other black men are watching, and we have to show them how to communicate. I really wish somebody would have been able to grab control of that conversation, to be able to bring it back so that we could truthfully hear what the other person had to say fully, without being interrupted, without being yelled over, without being screamed at, without the frustration. And one of the biggest points that I really wish people would understand, when you are trying to effectively communicate with somebody, when your intentions are pure and at its rawest form, I'm gonna say what I have to say, but I gotta say it in a way that you hear me. Because if you don't hear me, then I'm talking for no reason. My job, if I want you to hear me and my intentions are pure, my job is to, at the very core, get to where you are, pull you, slowly guide you into what I'm saying. Not in a manipulation type way, because I'm not trying to get you to go out and do anything. I just want you in the right space to hear what I'm trying to say so that you can then develop a true and pure opinion so that we can have a conversation back and forth. Even if we disagree, we can do it healthily. And I wish somebody at that table would have brought it back around. And yet again in the comments, oh baby, they lit him up. You're the reason why, what's wrong with the world and the generations, and you don't need a woman. That's what's wrong with y'all right now. You're dependent on a woman, and the woman got to bury this weight and carry this. It was so heartbreaking because even in the comments, at least the ones that got the most attention, they didn't say, let's have a conversation. They didn't say, let's sit down and hear what the other person said. They said, let me vilify you even more. And that is so hurtful. Like, that is the reason, one of the biggest reasons that we have so many breakdowns in communication. We have to be able to build a safe space, especially for our Black brothers and sisters. Especially because we are the minority. We don't have many spaces that we get to talk in and have a true voice. We are the minority in this country. We really are. So when we do sit together, we have to do it right. So, anyway, I thank y'all for letting me do this. I thank y'all for letting me do this. At the end of this, I know one thing for sure, is that I don't have it all figured out. I don't have all the answers. That I too am still becoming. So, alrighty. Thank y'all again. And I'm going to see you on the next one. See ya.